Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam. So I know it's way overdue, but I'm finally doing my Feel Special Fansign fan account video. So as you guys probably know, I was in Korea from late September to late October. About a month in Korea, and I was hanging out with my friends. There was like a group of 5 of us that was in Korea the whole time. And during that time, I went to a bunch of music shows, festivals, and also 4 Feel Special Fansigns. So twice had a total of 4 Fansigns. And usually my group orders have been in the hundreds. The last time for Fancy, I got 400 about, and I split that between 2 group orders. So I've talked about how many albums it takes to get to a Fansign before, and just to reiterate, there's no like certain number you can guarantee yourself in. It's a raffle, so the more albums you buy, the higher chance you'll have to get in. I've heard people get in with 1 album, and I've heard people who didn't get in with over 100 albums. So it's, your best guess. And because I have so many albums in my group order, I tend to go way over the amount that people generally buy just to make sure I get in. And I've heard people say that oh, Sam goes to all the Fansigns. That's definitely not true. I've been to way less than a third of the Fansigns, probably maybe close to 10%, if even that. I think probably less than 10% at this point. And anyway, during Fancy, I had about 400 albums in my group order, so I split that in 2. So I got to 2 Fansigns with about 200 albums each, and there was 4 Fansigns total for that promotion. So for Feel Special, there was 4 Fansigns as well. The most I've ever been to before was 2. So I was thinking, since there's 3 versions of the album, and I got so many group order albums this time, I'm gonna shoot for 3. I had 800 orders, so I was gonna split it to 250, 300, I think, just to make sure I get into all of them. But one of the Fansigns ended up being at Sinchon, and Sinchon was the store where I failed getting into Summer Nights / Dance Night Away promotions Fansign. There was 2 Fansigns for that special album, and I got to 1. But the other one I failed after buying over 140, 150, something like that. And that was way past the safe number that a lot of people have been buying. I think a lot of people bought 80 to 100 for that one. Sinchon is a special store, and I'll probably talk about that also in a different video, but I wasn't sure I'd get in even if I bought 300 for that store, so I only bought 40, and I got in. So after getting into Sinchon and the other Fansigns, there was 1 Fansign left, and I had 250 albums left from our group order. So I really didn't plan on going to all 4 Fansigns, but after going to 3 Fansigns, including that Sinchon one, which was a crapshoot really, I ended up, one of my presents that I ordered for the Fansign didn't come yet, so I really wanted to give it to Nayeon, and instead of having one of my friends give it to her instead, who might have gone to the Fansign or not, I applied for the 4th one because I really wanted to give it to her. So I applied to the 4th Fansign with the rest of my albums, which was 250-ish, got in, so then in the end I went to all 4 Fansigns. So here I have all my Fansign albums for Feel Special, 4 different ones. There's only 3 different versions of the album, so I actually got version B signed 2 times. When the album first came out, the previews for the album first came out, I didn't have B as my favorite album. I thought A actually had the best cover because I love the concept here. But after the music video came out and the music shows and whatnot, I ended up falling in love with version B just because I love the blue and purple outfits so much. And the pictures inside are really great for this album. So this ended up being my favorite album overall. So I ended up getting 2 of these albums signed. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the Fansigns, but I don't think I'm going to talk about each one one at a time, members at a time. Instead, I'm just going to go talk about each member briefly, but also give an overview a little bit of the Fansigns for Feel Special. So before anyone asks, Jude, before anyone asks, I just want to say that Mina did not attend any of the Fansigns. So she's been a little more active these days, going to all Japanese concerts and also once Halloween 2. But during Feel Special promotions, obviously Mina recorded the album and did the photos, but she didn't do any music shows, and she didn't do the Fansigns. And, all fans are really understanding about that. And actually at every Fansign, some fan or fans gave something to the members that was representing Mina, either penguin dolls or Mivli plushies or stuff like that. And that was really cute. I wish I had something prepared like that. I just totally didn't think about it, but yeah, just to put a disclaimer there. So unfortunately, June, there's no Mina fan account. And I actually have footage and photos from the first 2 Fansigns because my friend John Dangerous went to the first 2 Fansigns with me, or he went as well. And we talked there, and he was able to take pictures of me because we were seated kind of far apart. And the reason I say that is because sometimes if you're seated next to the person that you're friends with or like in the same row, then you can't take pictures of them because when they're interacting with the members, you're in line and you can't actually use your phone or camera in line. But yeah, so thank you, John, for taking pictures of me and videos during the first 2 fan signs. Definitely helps with this video. But also there's pictures that I'm going to put up that aren't mine or John's, and I'll credit the fan sites down below. So yeah, with that, let's get into the member interactions. And before anyone asks, I mainly spoke English. I think most of the members actually have a pretty good grasp of English now, and I can speak English with most of them. Others, I use a little bit of like broken Korean that I know, which is not much, but some. And yeah, I'm going to do like the highlights of each member because sometimes, especially with members who don't speak English, like Momo, Sana, and Dahyun, the interactions are a lot of like awkward laughter and like me trying to piece together sentences in Korean, and that's just basically what it is. I don't want to like repeat that for each member each time. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna do it in age order. So first off, we have Nayeon. So I actually wanted to ask Nayeon why LA was her favorite city for like the longest time, because I feel like for a lot of celebrities, they'll go into whatever city they're in and be like, oh yeah, I love this city, it's my favorite city, blah, blah, blah. But during Twice Lights, when Nayeon went to LA, she said that LA was her favorite city. But then when she went to Chicago and to New York or New Jersey, Newark, she didn't say that for those cities. So, you know, I think it was pretty clear that she had like an LA bias. So during the first fan sign, first thing I did was I asked Nayeon why she liked LA so much. And I don't know if I was satisfied with her answer, because first she said it was the weather, and I do agree that California weather is probably the best weather in the world. I think SoCal might get a little hotter than the Bay Area, at least San Francisco, because, you know, I think San Francisco has the best weather in the world. But then she also said like the mood, and I know that LA itself is known as the City of Angels, obviously, and I get that, you know, there's an LA vibe. And Nayeon even said that she wanted to live in LA like a local for a month. So I haven't been to LA that many times, even though I live in California. Probably been like half a dozen times maybe. So maybe next time I'm in LA, I'll stay a little longer and like get that, you know, get that feel, get the mood in. But to top it off, I gave her an In-N-Out hat, because even though In-N-Out is more than just LA, more than just California even, I thought it was pretty iconic to, you know, the SoCal area. And then she actually put it on, and there's a bunch of fansite photos with that. So yeah, that was really cute, and definitely a successful gift. And at a different fan sign, I asked Nayeon if she was interested in acting again, and I brought up Dream High 2 and Oh My God Tip. If you haven't watched those, I'll leave a link down below as well. And she got really embarrassed or flustered actually when I mentioned the Oh My God Tip, because it was like a super like cringe online series. Again, you guys should really watch that, it's hilarious. And she said that she does, but not anytime soon. I thought it was just really cute how flustered she got when she's like, oh, someone remembers about that. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're getting any actress Nayeon anytime soon. And then lastly, like I said, the reason I wanted to go to a 4th fan sign, obviously, other than the fact that once you go to a fan sign, you keep wanting to go more. The reason why I had to go to the 4th one was I ordered an Aladdin lamp from like the official Disney store, and it was supposed to come, and it took a long time to get to Korea. So I definitely should have ordered it to the US and then brought it with me to Korea. But I wasn't planning on giving it to her. It's just that I watched Aladdin on the plane. If you guys watched my vlog, I watched it on the plane going to Korea, and it was actually a really good movie. And then while watching it, I remembered that Nayeon mentioned that she watched it. And I was like, maybe I should give it to her as a fan sign gift. So I got to the 4th fan sign and actually was able to give it to her. And I asked her what her 3 wishes would be if she used the lamp, the genie lamp. Unfortunately, she didn't say she would free the genie, which I thought was one of the main points in the movie. Although I did think that her wishes were actually really cute, especially the one that says she wants to be better at English, or like she wants to speak English well. But actually she's not bad at English. She's actually gotten a lot better. So because the fan sign actually fell right before Once Halloween 2, all the onces asked the members what they should be for Halloween. And I actually wanted to ask Jungyeon because I thought she'd be the most sensible. Nayeon actually told my friend John to be first Jasmine, then Belle. I'll talk about that again in a different video. But yeah, I didn't want to be trolled, so I asked Jungyeon because I thought Jungyeon would be like, you know, pretty sensible at picking a costume. I didn't really have any ideas prepared for myself. I definitely should have had a costume prepared before that I could have brought from America and saved me a lot of time and money. But Twice's fan meetings, the first one was Once Begins, which wasn't Halloween themed, and then the second one was Halloween themed. So I wasn't sure if it would be Halloween themed again because it wasn't like a trend or anything. So I didn't want to like come to Korea with a costume and then have it not be a costumed event. So yeah, I thought Dahyun would give me like a cool but also not troll costume choice. And when I sat down and asked her, she said Thor. So the previous year, for once Halloween, I dressed up as a Cowboys player because Mina's favorite team is the Cowboys. But before that, for like 2 or 3 years, I was Thor from Avengers because he's my favorite hero. I had these 2 like replica life-size Thor hammers, like the 1-to-1 replicas, in my room. But since they were, you know, getting too cluttery and they were really big, I actually gave them to my parents to bring home to their house. But then I had to buy another one in Korea for my costume that Dahyun recommended. And now I have it again in my room. So my parents are going to be like, why did you buy another replica Thor hammer? So the crazier thing actually is that I actually had a Thor Dark World outfit because that was the outfit that I liked the best at the time I made the first costume. And I actually had just thrown that out recently because I didn't think I would wear it again. So I just like threw it away. And at one of the later fan signs after the first one where I asked her for the costume recommendation, I actually printed out a sheet of like different Thor outfits. There was like Dark World, there was Ragnarok, there was Fat Thor from Endgame, and there was like upgraded Thor from Infinity War. And I showed Dahyun, and she like laughed at first because she thought it was really funny that I actually had Fat Thor in the choices. And I actually gained a lot of weight when I'm in Korea. Haven't lost all of it yet actually, but I was definitely a lot bigger during the fan signs. And I thought she would pick that one for sure, but she laughed at it and she pointed at it, but then she was like, no, I want the first one, which was Thor Dark World. So it was like she picked not only the character that I had, you know, been before and had the hammers for before, but not in Korea, but she also picked the specific costume that I had before, which is actually a little good for me because I knew how to make it, but it was not good because I just literally threw out that costume like recently. So yeah, it was funny, but it was also like, how did this even happen? So then after that fan sign, I didn't know how to say it again. You know, even explaining it took a while here. So I wrote it all down in a letter, and then my friend Joanna translated it for me, and I gave it to Jungyeon. She read it. She said that it was a signal, and she did like the hand thing, and I thought that was really cute. So when I first sat down to talk to Momo for the fan sign, the very first one, she like instantly started laughing, and she brought up the dance video. So I thought it was really funny. It's a little embarrassing because those videos definitely weren't good, and I'm definitely not good at dancing, but it amused her even after like months, so it was definitely worth it. For me, Momo is definitely one of the hardest members to communicate with because she doesn't know that much English, I don't know that much Korean, and I don't know any Japanese. So it was a little frustrating to communicate still, and it's definitely all my fault. But my friend Joanna helped me translate a letter, and then she read it at the fan sign. But yeah, I think even though those 2 videos, or at least the one video that she watched, definitely entertained her and made her laugh and smile, and she remembered it even after months, I don't think I'll be doing any of those anytime soon. So yeah, sorry about that. Sorry you had to watch those. Sorry, Momo. But I told her that I really liked her autograph, that her autograph was my favorite autograph of all time. You have to admit, Momo's autograph is like definitely one of, if not the best autograph like in the world. I love her autograph. And she changed it a little bit for Signal, and then she changed it for Fancy. But yeah, I love her like standard raccoon signature so much. So I asked her to draw me like a logo or something because I really like her art style. And she drew me this. I think she's drawn the character before somewhere, but I thought it was really cute still. And then also during one of the fan signs, I gave Momo 2 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Monster Reborn and Blue Eyes White Dragon. Mainly because I know Momo, I think out of the members, Momo had like the most, I don't want to say normal, but like kiddish childhoods. I think she mentioned about like watching Disney shows, and I know she likes Barbies and stuff like that. So since she grew up in Japan, I figured, you know, maybe she would know Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe she likes it, maybe she has a favorite card. So I gave it to her. She said she knew what it was, but she didn't say she had a favorite card. Okay, first off, I want to say Sana is like the sweetest person in the world. So definitely talked about this in other videos before, but Sana, eye contact. Just take a look at this picture. You like can't not melt. So Sana had posted on Instagram about not knowing what kind of goods to design for the fan meeting. And even though the fan sign was like getting a little close to the fan meeting, so I wasn't sure if she'd be able to use it for actually that purpose, I had a list of like ideas that I thought, you know, would be good for goods. Obviously, I wasn't expecting for her to actually, you know, do what I asked or like recommended, but I thought it'd be good to spark some ideas potentially. And again, thank you, Joanna, for translating the letter for me, the list. And so she read it there, and she actually paused on the socks and she said it out loud, like she read it out loud. And that was before they announced the cacao goods, so maybe she was like, haha, we actually already made those, or maybe she'll make Twice socks again for a different event. But yeah, that was really cute how she read it at the fan sign, and it's hard to like convey how I felt, but it was really sweet how she was like super careful in reading the letter. So yeah, like I said before, since I don't know that much Korean, which is definitely my fault for not studying, but I have a harder time communicating with some of the members, especially Momo, Sana, and Dahyun. So during one of the fan signs, Sana actually like wrote me a message, and the manager told me to move like a lot of times because she wrote kind of a lot. I'll show you guys here. At first she pointed out what she wrote, and then she was like, change. But then I realized pretty quickly that she meant like she wanted me to translate it, have like a friend translate it for me so I could read what it meant. And then at the next fan sign, when I came back, she asked me, like, first thing she did was she asked me if I was able to read her message. So I think it's, again, super sweet that she was thankful that, you know, foreign fans come to Fansigns, international fans, and that she actually remembered me from the previous fan sign and our interaction, and that she wanted me to know what she wrote. And then she wrote me a different, like, additional follow-up message again at the next fan sign as well. So, like, seriously, Sana is the sweetest person. Eye contact is killer. Like, speechless. So I mentioned before that Twice doesn't take gifts. They usually play with it and then return it, but they do take letters and sometimes books. So I actually brought a physical copy of my legal journal where, you know, the article that I wrote that was dedicated to Twice was published in, and I actually gave it to Jiho. And actually when I gave it to her and I told her that like, oh, I wrote part of this, the fan manager actually thought that I wrote the whole book, and she was like super impressed, but I was like, no, I only wrote like a portion of it. And I pointed out that like, oh, look, here's the dedications. And then I don't know why, I think Jiho was just like scanning through, but she pointed and laughed at like me writing Momo. But I think she realized like quickly that, oh, it was actually all the members' names on there. And it was like a dedication. Fun fact, there's actually only about 10 physical copies that was printed because our journal is electronic. And the only people who have copies of the journal are the board members from the journal and then Jiho. I also asked Jiho what she wants to do. Like, since Twice has done so many things, what's something that she wants to do herself? So actually it didn't take much time for her to think about what she wanted to do, because she answered pretty quickly. She said she wanted to do an acoustic cover of a Twice song, but by herself. Kind of like what she did before when she had the Melody Project, where she kind of like did her own mini concert. She said she wanted to do acoustic versions of Twice songs. But she also said that like it's not going to happen anytime soon, so don't expect it, but that's what she wants to do if she had the opportunity. So with Dahyun, I knew that she was like one of the members who knew the least English, but she was also very studious. So during Twice Lights, I wasn't sure if she had like studied really hard to improve and learn English, or she's just really good at memorizing and she's memorized her speeches. But going to the fan signs, it's pretty apparent that she just like was really good at memorizing what she had to say. Because if you guys went to the Twice Lights concerts, you might notice that like, for example, Nayeon talked a lot, but she had kind of different things to say at each concert. Whereas Dahyun's was kind of like the same thing at each concert. And she was actually really good at enunciating, so it sounded really good. But in reality, I think Dahyun's English is still not the best out of the whole group. So it was pretty hard to communicate as usual. Yeah, at first I was like, whoa, I went to Twice Lights in America and your English is like so good now. And then she was like, no. But then after trying to say a couple things, I did realize that, yeah, her English is like not as good as you would think. But you know, that's like perfectly fine because Twice promotes more in Korea and Japan, obviously. So having to learn Japanese, I think, is a higher priority for Dahyun than having to learn English. But yeah, with Dahyun, I think if you ask her a question, sometimes she takes a lot of time to like think about the answer, and then that takes away a lot of your time for the fan sign. But sometimes she'll like start a conversation with you, and that's a lot easier. For example, one of the fan signs, I actually put a tab on one of the pages that I liked, and then when she flipped to sign it, she was like, whoa, that's my favorite picture. And then I was like, oh, that's a really good picture. I like the outfit. And then she was like, oh, what's your favorite? And then we spent time like looking through each one, and then she kind of like reacted to each page. And that was really cute because she had like really big reactions for every page. But yeah, Dahyun gives a lot of fan service. I just need to like speak more Korean and find out topics that would make good conversation. And I still haven't exactly mastered that yet. So during Fancy Fansign, I think I talked about this in the fan account video for that, that I had a video idea that I wanted to talk to Chaeyoung about. And I couldn't talk about it then because the video wasn't ready. And again, I can't do it now because again, the video isn't ready. But I did talk to her about it at the first fan sign and she actually remembered. So that was awesome. But yeah, that video will come hopefully soon, but I don't know when. But aside from that, I brought Chaeyoung a Puss in Boots doll because I think it kind of matches Chaeyoung a lot. It's like, it looks cute, but it's also fierce and strong. And Chaeyoung actually really liked the plushie, and she actually knows Shrek because when I gave it to her, she like didn't know the name of Puss in Boots, but she remembered Shrek. So when she saw it, she was like, ooh, Shrek. And I was like, yeah, it's from Shrek. And I told her that, when I saw it, it reminded me of her, so that's why I brought it. And she actually held it for a long time during the fan sign. So yeah, that was another successful gift. And of course, Chaeyoung got her tattoos recently, so I asked her what her favorite tattoo was. And then after thinking about it for a while, she told me that her favorite tattoo was the one on her arm, the lips one, which was her very first one, so that makes sense. And I think for this promotion, my most favorite fansign interactions was with Yeouido, and which is why I think it's going to be the thumbnail of the video. So during the first fansign, I told Yeouido that I went to Taiwan recently, but it was only a couple hours because it was a layover, so I don't stay at the airport. But I told her that if I went again, I would go to Tainan. So I asked her what I should do, and she told me night market, and I thought that was kind of a generic answer, but then I figured that, sometimes a generic answer might actually be the best. So when I did go to Tainan a couple weeks later, actually, I did go to the night market and it was awesome. So I don't know if she just forgot or it happened in between the first and second fan sign, but during the second fan sign, when I first sat down during the second fan sign, Yeouido was like, oh, my mom showed me your videos. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, my mom showed me your YouTube videos. And she said this in English, so it was like, great. And yeah, her English is like vastly improved. Anyway, I was like, oh, what videos? And then I think she was like, first confused, she wasn't sure what I was asking. And then I was like, oh, like what videos did you watch? And then she like thought about it for a bit. And she told me that, oh, like concert video. And then she said, you go to a lot of our concerts, thank you. So I think just like Chaeyoung, she actually watched my concert vlogs. So yeah, first, kind of like with Jungin and Chaeyoung, I was kind of embarrassed that she watched my videos. But then honestly, it's really amazing to know that Yeouido watched my videos. And yeah, it's pretty cool to see that Yeouido's mom looks on the internet for Twice videos. But it's unfortunate that when I went to Tainan, I didn't actually see Yeouido's mom at all at the cafe, so I couldn't thank her in person. And then at the third fan sign, I guess she forgot the last fan sign, but she asked me what my channel name was, because I think her mom showed her the video, but she might not have like written it down herself. So I told her SQ K-pop, and then it was really cute because she repeated herself as well, like out loud, SQ K-pop. Too bad I don't have that recording because you can't bring recording devices up at the fan sign. Or else we'd hear another SQ K-pop by not just Momo, but Yeouido as well. But yeah, I do have some more fan account stuff, I think. But if you guys want to read more about my fan sign experience, I did write a couple notes down in my Twitter threads. I'll leave those below right now. But yeah, that's it for now. We could be here all night, but it's getting darker. I will have more of these like sitting down talking videos in the future. I kind of want to do this more regularly, so let me know if you guys like this kind of video. And once again, thanks to John Dangerous for providing the photos and videos. And big thanks to Joanna for translating for me several times in Korea. And also thanks to other John, Mark, and Ben for helping me out in Korea. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.